What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to The Gathering Point.
Oh, we even got a little foot on it,
where
too.
Chris is making the coolest thing ever.
How cool is that?
It is so cool
Dang.
that
Whoa.
you guys got lucky.
That's pretty tight. That is pretty cool.
Whoa.
Uh-oh, we got some smoke itch.
Why do we have smoke itch? Because it is aluminum.
What do we got going on here now? Is that a little bit of fuming? Wow. Well, what's happening, folks? This is The Gathering Point. Chris, with his Red Wings garb, is muscling this piece into place.
You want to punny it?
Yes, Matt. Punt. Hey!
Yeah. We got Matt on the show tonight. There he goes. He'll be back in a minute. We got Michelle over there. What's up? We got Bess over here. Tech support guru. Just working the computer over here.
Work it, work it, work it.
Bam!
We got the sound good.
You guys
Tell us
send
in the
a little
chat.
love.
Tell us in the chat where you guys are from. Because we get people from all
Take
over.
a Maurice off that.
We'd love to know where you're watching from. Because some of you are not local. And local is Detroit, Michigan. We are here in Dearborn, Michigan, the home of Henry Ford. That's where we live and breathe. Jake's there, waving hello.
Yes. That's right, Dearborn, Michigan, folks. This is show number
4-5.
Number 245. We got an incredible custom order lined up tonight. We got two beautiful products that we're going to kind of wing here with not much. We haven't done these before. We're going to pre-designed them a little bit, got them ready to go.
You're going to have to zoom in on Matt's pants. They have all these like shapes on them.
That's my favorite pair of pants that Matt owns.
Peace sign.
Yeah.
All right. All right, fancy pants. Let's punny this thing up.
So it's not quite flat on the bottom, but that'll be just fine. Look at the way you got this fuming coming off the top end. Matt's taking it away. Now, we wanted to do this because it's trending and it's cool and it's got some beautiful visual
Characters.
attributes. And then Chris, last minute, it was about 6 o'clock on the nose, and he was like, why don't we just make it into a big tumbler? And then by 6:03, we started up the show, and here we are, and he's got it flipped around, and we're on The Gathering Point for our 245th show.
Somebody in the comments said it kind of looks like bubble wrap right now.
Like a what? Like bubble wrap?
Yeah.
Totally.
It does look like bubble wrap. Crikey.
Well, welcome back, everyone. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know. I always like to ask. Let us know what the deal is, folks. We'd love to know what the deal is.
Is it an ace? A queen of hearts? What is the deal? What did you get?
Yep. But it is a beautiful day here in Michigan. We got shadows and we got hot blasting glass. We got a pretty cool show coming up here. We got a table full of one and done, one of a kind specialty products tonight, and we've also got 3 holiday renditions of a classic product of ours. I think you guys are gonna love it. Still in the holiday season, we had, I think it was 2 weekends ago, our holiday winter fest, which we had a blast. And I bet if you guys are watching, you could scan that right there, and it would take you to our website.
See ya.
What many of you, if you're not new to the show, already know, glassacademy.com. We're selling products. We're making a living doing it. And that's the deal. So we're starting with a little double special here. Matt and Chris opening up this tumbler, and it's really, I don't know if one would drink out of it.
I think more of a little vase.
I think it's a vase, faux show.
Look at that. How about a GA stamp?
That's a Uline special right there. The bubble wrap vase. Now it's completely surrounded by, is that aluminum or is that, what do you think, what metal is that?
What'd you say?
What kind of metal you think that is, Chris?
Steel.
Steel?
Yep.
So really thin steel that
Neither
heated
have I,
up
so I'm
and
gonna-
put a little action on the outside there, and we'll see how this reacts in the annealing oven.
Ooh, hold on a second. Let's put this stamp on there. Just let me cut some of that off there so I can put a little one on.
Oh, yeah. Everything made out of glass. Ooh, it's sparking. Like a sparkler. This cooled down overnight. So everything we make on the show here tonight will be cooled down over 16 hours. We do an annealer reveal at 3 o'clock. So we'll be showing that piece off on Thursday, 3 o'clock.
But
Trying to get that thing to settle up in the bottom a little so it sits
looking
on its own.
good.
I go one more deep flash
Pretty
and hold it
interesting.
up in the air. It'll
Sink down.
sink in there so it has a flat bottom to sit on, because that Maurice is sticking off the bottom a little bit. So I want to make sure this thing sits flat on the table.
And so, like I was saying, we don't know how this, usually foreign materials, if it's a piece of ceramic from the crucible, if it's a piece of metal
Yeah.
encased in glass, any kind of rock, it cools at a different temperature than the glass does, even though it's being cooled down at the same time overnight. But sometimes those imperfections in those foreign materials will cause the glass to crack overnight. So typically everything we make on the show is going to be for sale, and we'll put it up live for sale on the show. But I have to say, this guy needs to make it out of the box first.
Yeah, because if any of that metal fused to the glass, that steel, it would be incompatible.
So you just want it to be held by the bulgation of the glass. Is that right?
Most of the times, and back in the early glass blowing days a long time ago, people would blow into a lot of chicken wire. This is
Really?
25 years ago. Oh yeah, it was a big fad. And what happens is you could blow into it and then you just knock it off and not flash it. And then you could torch you could diamond saw the top.
Right.
Which annealer am I going in?
Number 3. You want to go all the way in the back right.
So we don't know if it's fused or not, but rarely you open them up with a jack.
So we'll take a gander. Going into number 3, we got some cast hearts in there. And yeah,
Alright.
there we go.
Nice work, guys. Welcome to the show. Show number 245. Love it.
Yeah, they're coming along real swell. And we're going to go over the board here, I think, and talk about the table a little bit. It's a beautiful day. Quick switch around.
Who's doing the warm-up?
That was the warmer-upper.
All right, who's doing the first piece?
I will be.
All right, so let me talk about the table. You get started.
We're not talking about we're going over the board with
Yeah.
everything we're making. The table, too.
I don't know. Remember how we're supposed to do 15 minutes of glass blowing and then we talk about stuff?
I remember.
Yeah, so let's just do a quick. Tonight on the table we have candy canes. We did jumbo sizes, so in the photo when they're listed, there's a ruler next to them so you know what's what. Make sure I'm on as you say that. They're in sand, which, you know, Florida has Christmas too. We have snow here in Michigan, but I don't have any snow yet, so they're in sand.
So you're saying these aren't normal candy canes. These are special extra large candy canes?
They are extra large, and these are like my beach rendition of a display.
Well, I don't think anyone even really knows about the sand. It's just holding those things up so you can see them. They're all really beautiful.
And then the snails, Jake did 3 that were color-coded for holiday. So green and white, he has a touch of amber in them. This is a green and a red, and the gold body, super cool. And we have 6 of those each, but the candy canes are one and done. So you can see some are bigger than others.
I love the white and red one. Very Christmassy.
Table goes live at 6:30.
A lot of cool stuff on the table.
All right, we got Matt in the hole, and the product du jour is...
Yeah, so we definitely want to get our own fair share of things talked about over there. I got plenty to say about those canes and what's coming up, and those are pretty cool. We never sold those on the show. We made some a couple weeks ago, but we'll go over each of those individually in a little bit here. But Matt and I are going to be starting up on a big, large bowl. Not too big, but similar to what we did with the cane a few shows back.
So you got Matt heating up a hunk of color here?
Yes.
What color is it?
White.
White? How are you going to use that in the application, Jake?
What we're going to do, I'm going to do an overlay, and then I'm going to gather over it, put a little clear on it, or put a little color on it, and then overlay it again. I really wanted to blow out. We've got this Signature Michigan Waters mix, our 2023 Signature Pumpkin and Ornament mix. And
Going to try something new with it?
we're going to try something new with it in theme of the year. And I wanted to blow it out and have it look really glassy. We've got the ornament and the pumpkin with it on the exterior. And to encase it, we're going to have white behind it, so it's really powerful, just like one of the 2 signature ornaments we have are. But then to encase it on top of that white and blow it out and have those larger chunks of blue spread out and get really watery and kind of fade into each other, I think it's going to look really nice.
So you're saying you're going to have a core of white in the bowl, so the whole bowl is white with it, all those signature colors around the outside.
Yes.
And you said something earlier where you're waiting for Matt to heat that up just right. You said something about doing a color overlay. You want to explain what that means when you overlay white over crystal?
The overlay is, and Matt's doing a great job heating it up, he's not really shaping it up at all because he just wants that white, super dense white, to be really hot and symmetrical. When you heat it up, it rounds itself right out perfectly. We're going to be dropping that hot, molten, super dense white over the top of this, getting to be rock solid, clear bubble. And when you drop that on there, then I've got the job of, and Matt will present it as nicely and round as he can, but when it's that hot, it's never going to be perfect. I'm going to have to kind of finesse it with the tool so it gets on there as even as possible. And if I wanted to, I could thin it out and do a fade, so the bottom of the bowl, I thought about this pretty hard, is super dense, and then it fades up to a more transparent, translucent white.
Nice. So is Matt going to marver it at all?
I think maybe one marver to shape it
Real
up.
lightly,
Would be
just to,
perfect.
and basically, I'll explain what's happening here with the marvering. The interior of that white is still a little bit cold. It's not as hot as the outside. So when you chill the outside on the marver, when you're bringing an overlay, Matt, it chills the outside, and then you go back and you reheat, and the core heats up, so it's liquidy evenly through the whole piece. It's real important to make sure that the glass is equal heat and liquidiness.
If you really think about it in technical terms, it would kind of be explained as an opposite lava cake.
Yes, I guess that might be the case.
You want me to take it?
Let's do it.
Liz watching from Scotland. Hello, Liz. We've got
get it, Liz.
Scott watching from Arizona, and it's his birthday. So happy birthday, Scott.
Scott's birthday?
Scott's birthday.
All right, Scott.
Thank you.
Sweet.
The shadows are definitely interesting.
Watching from Sweden. Peter's watching from Sweden. That's what. Yes. You guys can't hear Matt. He doesn't have a mic, but he
Got it.
has to repeat myself.
So I pushed down half of that bubble there. And now I'm going to go for the second half. I got it lined up with the Taglia, with the flattening tool, and Now I'm going to take it over to the Marver over here and squish it on really nice and symmetrical as I can with my hands.
And why does it matter if it's symmetrical or not?
That's what I was explaining earlier, because it'll come out thicker or thinner as a white, transparent or less transparent if you don't put it on perfectly even.
Jody is watching from Prince Edward Island, Canada. Hello, Jody.
Yeah, I hope everyone's having a beautiful, beautiful day out there. It's a beautiful Tuesday night. We just had a great meeting this morning about upcoming plans for social media, the business, the Michigan room. We got some really exciting things coming up. Could hit the LED on there on the bottom. Give people the bling bling. So that is overlaid pretty nice. Now we just gotta let it stiffen up. I blew a little air in there to make sure the bubble is still true. And then we're just gonna hang out for a second. That's what we're gonna do.
What are you guys working on today?
We were having Matt and Oliver whip together some clear trees for the gallery.
That's the evidence of what was there.
Yep, there's a little bit of evidence down there.
You can tell what's going on with the day. So we got the stamp, GA stamp, freshening it up, the high-tech, what is it called? Paper? It's not Teflon.
That one's a carbon fiber one.
Carbon fiber. Okay, we got two furnaces. One has blue in it. One has clear. One is the recycled blue. That's what Jake's dipping into right now. But when the tank gets low, the pipe gets hot. So we have this fancy dancy. Actually, there's people that have super fancy pipe coolers.
Nothing fancy about ours. Ours just gets the job done,
yeah,
and it's
ours is
custom.
pretty basic.
Custom special. Thanks,
Big
dude.
boxes of steel welded together.
So I got a nice layer of clear on here. Now I'm going to go to Dunktown right into the Michigan Waters Blue Mix. It's got about 5 or 6, I can't remember at this point, different blues with a couple that have some iridescence to them as well. So we may reduce this before we gather back over it. I'm going to probably go for like 1.5 coats.
So we do have to do an ASMR. Does everyone know what that is? Video? So the sound is pretty cool. As glassblowers, we have lots of sounds. We'll get a mic on it. I don't know if you can hear that.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like gerbil chewing.
It is kind of very similar to a gerbil chewing.
Right? Like if it was chewing up a paper towel roll or something. We're in holiday mode here. If you're watching the show past the recorded time, if you're not watching it live in the future, which actually quite a few people do. You saw our holiday poster there in the background. Because it's holiday time here at the Glass Academy. And everywhere else as well.
Think we should reduce it before going in?
Are you taking another layer?
Yeah.
So the finished product will be how big? I like our shadow.
Pretty big. Yeah. All right. I'm going to let it cool down a hair more. Then we'll do it. And the trick with reducing it before we do it is that when you go into the furnace, if we're going to iridize this exterior here, we'll change the flame on the hole and give those few colors in here, those few blues that do have iridescence, we'll pull out those metals to the surface and strike them. But when you go into the furnace, if you're in a non-reduction atmosphere, it unreduces the color. So when I go in for the dunk, I'm going to pretty much just javelin the pipe into the furnace so that there's minimal time that it's in that atmosphere before it gets encased in clear glass. Let's do it.
And did you like play the javelin in high school or something that you feel confident in this technique?
Never did, and I don't feel very confident either.
Didn't you do the javelin
that.
throw in Olympic Games at school?
Maybe I did toss it a time or two.
You played the javelin before?
I played the javelin. It makes
I
a
play it
beautiful
like-
noise.
I play it like a guitar, some type of like crazy sitar. It's like
But-
14 feet long.
Long
oh,
jump?
did you really?
Pole
Pole vault,
vault.
did you?
That
I've always
sounds
wanted
fun.
to try that.
And
That'd
he's
be
a tree
like
trimmer.
cool adult sport.
Has
Not at all.
anybody done the pole vault out there, guys?
Yeah, put it in the chat.
I mean, I can see Matt already just pushing his feet towards the clouds.
We got to find some footage of that, Matt.
Yeah. Ice gather. You need a little chilling action, Jake?
Yes, please. It looked like it kept the reduction in the beginning there, but we're going to see.
You'll never get the iridescence or the silver or gold look of the reduction in an encased piece. It'll always just look a little bit more milky, and it's a really beautiful milky look.
Is it more like almond or oat?
I got a
about
really
coconut?
cool technique I think I'm going to do with my bowl when I do it. It's going to be pretty cool. I remember doing these a long time ago, back when I was in college. You marver it only one way the whole time once you put the frit on.
Don't
and it
give him your secret.
pushes it all over so it looks like scales. They all
Interesting.
layer over each other. It's pretty
Sounds
neat.
interesting. We do have a question in the chat if you guys could answer it.
Bring it.
It says, when you recycle colored glass, does the color burn off and does it become clear?
Wow, that's a great question.
Well,
Who's taking it?
I'll go ahead and answer that since Jake's concentrating on marvering.
I'm focusing.
When you melt down colored glass, folks, everything burns away, all the colors except for the transparent blue, which is a result of cobalt oxide, which is the strongest mineral off the periodic table. That's what's left in the glass that melts. You never really get any stringy other colors or anything. The elements that make the other colors, like tin for white, manganese for purple, cadmium, those other really amazing elements of Mother Nature, all gas and burn off of the batch. And then when it's melted, all that's left is the cobalt. You just can't get that out of the molecular
Good.
structure of the glass.
Michelle can probably show you guys in a second here. They've got different samples from different recycled batches on the side. You guys can see that bluish color. Now, why would there be different shades of blue over here, Jake?
Very good. Very good question.
Yeah, different shades of blue of those little color samples. Every time we melt a tank of recycled glass, which is usually about, what would you say, Jake, like once a week maybe?
Yeah, maybe a hair longer than once a week.
We melt it, and then the first thing we do is we pull one of those little curly-Q drips off of it so we can see what the color looks like, because there's certain products that we make out of that recycled glass that a really dark blue, let's say like one of these, Shell,
Hold
a
on.
really dark blue, you can't see the puddle, the Detroit or the Michigan puddle riding through that because it's too dark. So we want to use a lighter blue. And then a lot of the drinkware is really nice. Certain drinkware is really nice to specifically make when, like the crackle stuff with the darker blue is really nice. It's looking really, really cool, Jake.
Well,
And I might have missed it, but what are we
Good.
making here?
We're making a bowl. Jake's making one and I'm making one, and this
Michigan
is going to
Waters.
be a bowl that could be tagged as the signature bowl, depending on which one ends up being it. But we're each going to do a different style bowl that is using our signature color that we have developed and designed for this year's ornaments.
We're gonna have to put a iris blue lip on this guy for some bling.
Carolyn's here from Maryland.
Beautiful.
Hello, Carolyn.
We had someone from Sweden.
Had somebody from Sweden, Peter from Sweden on YouTube. We've got Chris from Dearborn in the chat.
Nice,
Hi,
I'm
Chris.
here.
You are here.
Pretty interesting looking.
Really nice looking.
Is it got
green so
white
far.
in it?
It's
Yeah.
he
Katrina
blew
from
a hunk of white
Australia,
bar out.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, what was I
Tammy
thinking?
from Australia,
Totally
as
forgot.
always, hello. Miranda from Alabama, hello.
What are you thinking
Yeah.
right now, Jake?
I was thinking about an iris blue foot, but then I was like, it might be a little dark, and it might peel off of the punny, especially when we're doing something large and heavy like this. So I think we should just keep it with a nice clear foot. Nice and crisp.
Yeah, thinking about, he was saying some of those reduction colors, which are the ones that have the precious metals in them, guys, he was saying it could peel off. They're really, really soft on the surface. So he was concerned that if you put that on the bottom of the bowl, it might not stay on the punty as well as normal, which is a good concern to have. Back in the day, wherever that might have been,
Just back there.
we would drop patties on the Marver that you only coated the side of the patty with color. And when you dropped it on the Marver, you could put your bowl on it, and then you'd flash it, tighten it up, and you'd have clear on the bottom with the iris blue around the outside.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Brian says, I plan on stopping in this week. Do you have any of those trees from yesterday available? Or the trees from yesterday, we talk about the prototype trees right now?
The bubble trees are not hitting the gallery yet. They're a brand new product, and we've just designed them. Those are the first two that have ever been made and are not available yet. But we do plan on having the featured product table loaded with them this coming Tuesday, folks. So you can either watch online with us, and then they'll hit the gallery thereafter.
So next Tuesday on show 246, we're going to have a bunch of those.
Yes.
I was just kind of jonesing in my own mind about when I was going to be able to start busting out some of those trees, Jake.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. And now know that I'm going to be doing it this week.
Sweet.
Right? Because
Glad
we
you got
need it.
that figured out.
That's right. See, the problem from my perspective is that when you're pumping out work that you're perfecting in the process, that's a new
Cool.
design by somebody,
That's cool.
I can't change that design because I'm reproducing Jake's design. And you know what? I've learned to get really good at doing that because I do that a lot with Michelle and Jake, and it's a great thing. So I just make it the way that those guys want it to be because it's their design and it's super cool. So we will be making those pieces this week.
And we want to make them an affordable range for everyone, too. So there's going to be multiple different tiers. And if you did watch the show, many of you guys saw the post we made on Facebook. But if you watched the show, was it last week or was that 2 weeks ago now?
I wasn't here. I think it was 2 weeks ago. Because last week I wasn't here.
I think everything's blending together.
It is. Everything's starting to blend together because I could have sworn it was last week.
Yeah, I think it might have been
Whoa.
last week. I'm going to need one more flash,
Kind of
Matt.
blending together for me
It was
too.
last week.
It's just been a very long week.
But if you guys saw that process, you will see that it's pretty much a three-man process. It's going to take 3 people to make them, and it takes a lot of dexterity in getting those bubbles produced in an ever gradually increasing size and thickness. And it's going
And
to be a pretty
speaking
good
of that,
time.
can you guys put in the chat what you think the name should be? The bubble tree seemed to be a big fit, but we might want to name it more specific to us. So throw it in the chat, some of the names.
You pull out some iris blue. Beautiful punny.
Tammy
We got that
says,
lined
have
up.
you guys ever done a Christmas discello? I don't think I've ever seen one in holiday colors. Or a discello style fluted candy bowl for the Christmas table.
Fluted candy
a great idea.
bowl.
A discello with a base on it like this, so it's raised up and light comes through it, would be really nice.
Beautiful break there. You can see how little white was wasted here on the Moyle. There's always leftover glass. This is what's going to become recycled glass. But looking at that angle, you can tell that I was able to chop that white right at the edge and hardly have any left. So we're going to put on a really thick iris blue lipper on it, and judging by the thickness there, I'm thinking that we might not need to trim it either. We'll just get it really soupy, pre-open it a little bit, and get it prepped up to put on a lip wrap. And if you guys are brand new to the show, getting an up-close shot of this and seeing the way that we don't cut the glass, we're going to bring it really hot. It's a beautiful blue. It'll be red, and as it's cooling down, it'll turn to a really dark blue. It's a beautiful, elegant process, doing the old whoosh.
What was that technique again?
That's right.
Could you spell that, please? Bess, is the website live?
The website should be live. I will double check that just to make sure.
All our action going
So
on
pretty
here.
big, maybe like the size of like a little bigger than that punny you just brought. Nah, let's do it clear.
So the signature mix of color that we created for the, it's a hot one.
Can you shield him?
That we created for the,
I think so, yep.
he can be shielded.
Yeah, I'm good.
So now I'm going to start over with that one, you guys. The signature color that you mixed up, is that tied in with the Michigan room?
It is, because it was, well, not the exact same color mix, but our first ever collectible set of glasses for the Michigan room was in the exact same color theme.
Yeah, the Michigan room's got all those thousands and thousands of bubbles from the world record event that we did.
Let me get one flash. I'm going to cool the pipe down.
So everything about the Michigan room is all about the Great Lakes and water.
Thanks.
That's why the mix is so blue, you guys. Michigan's got some amazing lakes that are every shade of blue you could imagine.
Yeah, so when the tank is low, the punny rod needs to be cooled too. And the reason we do that is you get better leverage. You can get closer to the piece, so you're not struggling from a long distance, but you get better leverage. You can hold
Coming
it right
in for
in the
one
middle.
more.
The moment of truth, everyone's on it, paying attention. You noticed just a second ago, Chris was shielding Jake's hand. When you've got a larger item like this, you really gotta shield your arm. There are arm sleeves that you can wear. If you're making a full day of larger items, people do have arm sleeves they put on.
Going back to the pole vaulting for a second, Linda on YouTube says, my son was a pole vaulter. 1311 was his best.
Oh, what was your best, Matt?
Let's hear it.
I know, right? I don't know that I'd remember either.
Probably wasn't that tall.
All right, the hot glass on the right is being stretched around the top. One of the reasons Jake left it thicker is that when this bowl gets stretched out, it will thin out and make a nice line. But if you put it on too thin, then you have nothing to work with. So bowls always are larger. All right, for those of you who said you wanted a candy cane, I do believe the website is live.
It is live. I already see some orders coming in. Just to clarify, snails, there's multiple of each snail available?
6 of each.
Perfect.
Shout out to Robin. I know she's watching. She said her sister's watching as well. Thanks for coming in. Robin's feeling better. Not 100%, but she's feeling better. And she was in today doing some shipping.
Thanks.
Underneath, Matt, like this.
Thank you.
Put it under there.
I'll go for one
You
more.
got one like this and one like that. You just go like that and shield his whole arm the whole way. I don't know, I didn't see my mom's connection on there, but she's supposed to be watching too. So hey, Lane, what's happening?
What's up, Grandma?
Woo woo.
This is
Haven't
softy.
seen her pop up in the chat yet, but she usually does.
Yeah.
All right, Elaine, if you're out there, we're looking for you to leave us a comment. I'll be giving you a call later today. I was in a meeting when you called earlier. It was so funny when I was like, let's make 2 different bowls for the show so we can test some different techniques out. The bowl in my head looked nothing like this.
We should be making 3 bowls.
Well, that's what it's kind of fun. Everyone's got a different version. And
this
Jake
one's
went
cool.
big.
I probably will need the second one.
If I made one, it'd be the mini bowl.
Yeah.
Is that enough on that one?
How many people have seen Dale Chihuly work? Where he's got the paddles out and he's working the giant big pieces of glass and shaping them up. It's really interesting to watch. If you get a chance to view some old Dale Chihuly videos, I don't know how much he's active these days doing them, but there's some great videos from the past.
Let me know when you want to open it.
Where he's doing a lot of teamwork. There's a
Okay.
whole group, cackle of people making items. Now, if you notice just there for a minute, the bowl did get a little floppy, and that's what you want. You want that heat to get nice and hot, and then you can shape it up.
Sweet. Got a nice one here. What? Probably.
Everybody, if you are still shopping, still thinking about getting a snail, the peppermint trail snail is already halfway gone. We're 3
Right.
out of 6 sold on that one. So if that's something you're thinking of, make sure you're jumping on that because he's going fast. In case you're unsure which one that is, it's number 7.
There we go.
Yeah,
There we
that's
go.
incredible, folks.
When it's filled with our signature ornament, that bowl with the white in there will be stunning.
Super cool.
That's pretty. Someone.
Give it to me. Will you grab a stamp, Matt? Got a little reduction up on there, on that lip.
Ooh, the lip is really nice.
Color's looking really dark right now. It's looking kind of green, but we know it's all blues, so that's going to pop out a little bit later on.
That white on the inside,
Thanks.
there are no flaws. The color is beautiful. Sometimes with the color, you can get these weird little
We'll just
air
go right for the
pockets.
gloves and knock it off.
Matt's got to preheat the gloves because they're actually room temperature.
Nice white inside.
It's a giant clamshell. They've been out of heat for quite a bit, so Matt's rolling on those hot gloves.
I'll bring it over.
And they're going to run it to the other side of the studio.
The white on the inside of that looks so cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty nice and pretty powerful white on the inside of that.
Super powerful. That stuff's probably why they call it enamel, because it's like literally white. That baby is white.
Super hardcore.
Super tasty piece. And you guys saw that was so cool how it ruffled when he dropped it. When you have something that spins out that wide, it's totally flat. And as soon as you hold it down with gravity and it goes to a smaller diameter, it's going to put those wrinkles inside of it, which turned out really beautiful. That was a nice, gorgeous looking organic top. Nice
Yeah.
work.
That was super nice. So we'll let that one get on the website in a little bit. We'll think about it, get it up there. And
I thought we said we were going to put them on Thursday. Get both styles up there, and they'd be for sale Thursday. Your call.
yeah, but we'll think about it. But there's the table, everybody, and we got a serious custom order coming up next.
So just as a reminder for you guys, there are originally 6 of each snail available. We are down just to 3 left of number 7, 4 left of 8, and 4 left of 9. So if you guys are thinking about those cute little snail buddies, make sure you're hopping on that because they are limited quantity. All of the candy canes are one and done, so there are not multiples of those. Once it is gone, it is gone. And you can see there's already a couple candy canes gone. So fun table tonight, something a little bit different for you guys. Really enjoying seeing that. Everybody in the chat really enjoyed that bowl.
You want to tell them the question tonight, Bess?
Yeah, so we, of course, always have our giveaway question every week. For those of you who are new to the show, we do a giveaway question every week. And if you answer the question, you have to send us an email with your answer, and I'll tell you guys the email in a second. But you get entered to win our giveaway. So our giveaway for this week, where the winner is already chosen, is that beautiful giant huckleberry cane right there that Michelle is going to hand model for you guys. So we already have a winner picked for that. I'll read that off a little bit later during the show. But our question for this week to win an item that has yet to be determined is, what brings you most joy during the holiday season? Is it being with family? Is it gifts? Is it singing Christmas carols? Is it volunteering somewhere? Is it playing out in the snow? Whatever it is, go ahead and send your answers to enews@glassacademy.com, and I'll get that up on the screen for you guys in just a little bit here with the question again. But make sure you send an email. When you send that email, make sure you put your name in the email. It really helps Donna out to know who you are, because as you guys know, not everybody has their name and their email address. So help her out, put your name in it with your answer. Could be anything, but we would love to hear your answer. So
Sometimes it's hilarious. Some of the emails we try to guess, what is this person's name?
yeah,
But
help Donna out, give her a little less stress.
there's our signature blue. Thank you, Robin. I love when you do the board. We did the warmer-upper. We're on to number 2. Customs. Gnome's Gone Wild.
So we do have a custom coming up next for Jordana. I always screw that up. I am so
I know,
sorry.
same.
But the guys are kind of brainstorming that right now, so hang in tight. They are figuring that out, but that's what's coming up next. They're kind of figuring out all of their little teamwork bits and pieces.
This is why we have dinner before the show to do this. Clearly, we didn't get it all done. All right, next week we'll do the bubble trees on the show, and these guys will be featured on there again.
I know a couple of you in the chat have already said you're interested in the trees, so make sure you guys are watching next week.
Sometimes I gotta be honest, sometimes the first trees, we keep them for us so that we have a recollection of what we developed and when we developed it. We've done that since the beginning of our company. It's pretty cool. So we have like these archives. My background was in museum work, so that's just kind of something you do. Just kind of fun. All right, this is a great time for questions. Bess is active on the chat. We've got our computers open and ready. If you've got questions, shout them out. Now is the time.
All right, we're figuring it out.
Okay.
We got a serious custom order for Dana here, second custom order to date.
Take them to the board, man. They haven't even seen it yet.
You
Tell
guys
them
seen
what's
the
up.
board?
We went over the board.
Who did?
We
All
did
right.
while you guys were talking.
Well,
Oh.
Dana's getting a sweet custom order. We're not going to draw it up because we'd probably spend just as much time drawing it up, but it's a really cool custom order where she very much artist choiced it us, which means she gave us a price budget. She said she wants a gnome, she wants a snake, and I suggested we add some sort of foliage to it. And I think we're going to do some sort of bush here. And we're going to put it all together on one patty, and it's going to be a triple team process for sure. And
I like to
That'd be
add in
pretty
on
in-depth.
that just a little bit, that if
Yeah.
anybody out there is keeping a list of Jake-isms, we just had one, folks. Because she artist choiced did us. That's a Jake-ism right
That's a
there, you
new
guys. And it's a new one, and it's a classic.
Gotta add it to
it's
your
a
list.
new one and a classic. That's a
I think
conundrum.
we need to like task someone this task.
I think somebody might, because that could be one of the super questions in the future.
There's like a quiz.
A super
Yep.
question.
Answer these 10 questions, win a prize.
So basically what we're going to do is there's 3 elements that are all coming together that are going to be living on this patty, and Jake and I just went over it. So we're going to make each one of those items a gnome, a snake, and an arborvitae type bush that's going to be in the middle with the gnome next to it and the snake next to it on a patty. So we need to make each one of these items and put them in the garage hooked onto a punty.
No, it's from the pipe.
So that we can then cast our giant piece of glass ground and then put them all on there.
Creating a glass ground.
That's right.
Is that like what the electrician does?
Yeah, glass ground. I do think that we are creating like some type of a chunk, like when you take a piece of sod out of the front lawn with a spade and it just comes out, or maybe even like a golf divot. That's a little bit better of an explanation. You get that like kind of toupee looking chunk of earth.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Watching.
Are you seeing these 2 beautiful colors I'm putting on? Because these are going to be garden snake colors. This is not the kind of snake that's hunting the gnome with its big beard. Excuse me.
Is it his friend? Is it the gnome's friend?
I just call them acquaintances.
You never know. Snakes are kind of like anything from the Slytherin clan. Can be a little bit like undermining and a little dangerous.
I think
Exactly.
friend or foe.
Who knows?
Hope you guys had your microphones turned up real loud for that one. Does anybody watch with headphones out there? Is anybody watching? Whenever I ask what the deal is, I'm usually wondering where you're watching from, you know, what the deal is and whatnot. And that would be an answer probably. You know, I'm here, got my headphones in, I'm watching
Do you
the
watch
show.
TV on headphones? I mean, like if I'm traveling on a plane, I might.
I don't
But
even wear
right.
headphones.
All
I
in
wear
right.
my living room,
I wear
All right.
probably don't wear
earpods.
headphones.
Here's a better question. How many of you guys watch on your phone or
Your device.
smaller tablet device? And how many of you guys watch on the TV?
TV.
Bess, will you tally that up for us?
I can.
I kind of a little confused about the whole name headphones.
Well, they're
What does
not
that mean?
earbuds.
You have a phone in
I
each
hate
ear?
that name. Earbuds?
My mom says
They're
that.
not
and
my
I hate
friend.
that.
I hate it too. I got friends who say it. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, headphones are even worse because you don't put 2 phones up against your head.
No, earbuds are the ones that are worse. That
All right.
electrical magnetism frying your brain like
I
an
mean,
egg.
I do want to get like a belt that holds 2 big old-fashioned telephones and then have the spiral cords coming up and then have 2 phones strapped to the side of my head. So like the kind you talked to back in the 80s and 90s.
I'm going to focus now. My brain can't handle
Let's
all
see,
that.
we've already got a couple of answers coming in. We've got laptop.
I don't think so,
phone,
actually.
Phone.
But I do need the flat crimps.
laptop.
So there are a lot of people on their phone. I wonder what
So
if they're
right
at
now I've
work.
got 3 people on phones, 3 people on TV. Carol said she watches on both at the same time.
Yeah,
Wow.
other people do that because they can comment on one.
Yep. Facebook open on one, YouTube open the other.
Has anybody got the new
Now,
Apple phone?
we're going to need to
iPhone?
just get focused here, everybody. Hold on, we got to figure this out because the snake is different. We're not
Uh-oh.
we're not wrapping the
Uh-oh.
snake in a coil because it's going to take up the whole base. I want to do it like a slithering snake. So I think I may need, Dad, if you would take the 2 paddles down there, and as I pull this out and slap it down, thank you.
Are you saying that you want me to help undulate this thing?
Yes.
With
The
these
undulation
paddles instead of
begins.
something that's round?
If you want to grab something round, that would be great too. We've never
Like
done
a-
it like this before.
Like a handle
Back
tool?
of the Taglia.
Would you like any of these? You could wrap it around?
No.
Yeah, the
I've
tape
got 1,
that's on
2,
the back of these
3.
is
I've got
perfect,
plenty.
Except that never put tape on the back of those.
I love tape on the back of those.
You can't use it as a tool.
It's not for using, it's for holding. That's how
It
someone's going to get
is.
burned.
No, that's
Yep.
a tool.
That's a burner. That's a first class burner.
Who's getting burnt?
Not me.
Oh boy.
Carol
Look at-
says
that
you
tape
can't
is not
comment
supposed
if
to
you're
be there.
watching on TV, which is a good point.
All right, you guys see how that's coming together?
Oops, sorry, Matt.
Just birth the snake off the pipe.
Birth.
God, you are so good.
Where-
Now
is
we
there
need
shells?
Huh?
Are there shells?
Shells.
Snakes come out of a shell.
Out
They
of
come out of an
shells?
egg.
Do they?
Yeah.
Like a shelf?
They come out of an egg,
Are you
not
saying
a shell.
Like,
Huh?
are you like a shelf, like on the wall?
Right off the shelf.
They come right off
Here
the
it
shelf.
goes. Help me out with this
that what
slither
you were
ability.
saying?
I'm ready.
Slither it up. Gosh, no good camera angle.
Oh gosh, look at that. He's slithering. You want to
Okay.
touch him?
I don't want to touch him.
I meant his like between his kidney.
Oh!
Do
Little
snakes
tail.
even have a kidney?
No, but it's got a little mouse right in there, probably.
The bulge?
The bulge.
Yeah, a mouse.
I was just gonna say I went to a event at the zoo,
Oh yeah, that
on
walk around.
Thursday.
Yeah, how was that?
and it was awesome. First of all, it was 21 and up, so there were no screaming, running around children at the zoo, which was a beautiful thing. But I got to go in the
Paddle. I
reptile
grab a
house
paddle
and
for
see all of
someone.
the snakes, and the snakes are my favorite.
Thanks.
So
Oh.
Sneaky
And
back
did they look
there.
like this? Did he do it right?
yeah, they're pretty similar. Dana says her mom loved snakes. She would be the first to volunteer to hold the snakes at the zoo and even at the flea markets.
So good.
Slithery.
We had a 12-foot boa constrictor when we were growing up named Zeeth. Yep, and he got away in the house for like 3 months, was living in the basement. 12-foot long snake. Eventually we did find him.
Alive
But
or
that
dead?
tells you the condition of our basement.
Was he alive or dead when you found
He was
him?
alive.
What was he eating in the basement?
We would put dead, well, I don't want to talk about that.
Oh my God!
We're having a sweepstakes within the company for our next shop animal, folks. We've had some really great suggestions that range from a monkey to a tortoise to, you know, a boa constrictor.
We've already got a vulture.
We do have a vulture hidden
Are you
in here
sure?
somewhere. See if you guys could notice it at some point during the
Let's-
show.
we're
Is that a new
the-
addition?
The show after the holidays was going to be pre-taped. He shows up better in the daylight.
Are you going to put a rattle on the end?
No. He's not a rattler, he's a friendly guy.
Oh, yeah.
So that's got some snake energy. Now we're going to knock it off on the paddle and torch the end of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dana says her brother had an albino python.
That's pretty cool. And I bet we'd probably be the coolest glass shop in all the land if we had one of those too. The only issue, and we'd love your guys' suggestions on these animals, is the shop gets cold during the winter and hot during the summer.
Not conducive to reptile life.
No.
I mean, I was
Not
really hoping
Michigan.
for like an orangutan.
Should I maybe
That would be
tap it
chaos.
off
I
over
would love
here
every
and we
second to
torch
be
it up
chaos.
with its face over the edge and then slide it onto the paddle? I
Huh?
think that's probably wise. We're going to knock it off over there and spend our time torching it up with the face off the edge, and then we'll slide it onto the paddle.
Aye, aye. We could even teach an orangutan how to blow glass and bring bits.
His hair might catch on fire.
Oh, no, just don't let him get too close.
So Matt works a lot with the torch, stepping in with his skill set.
Those torch champions.
One day he'll
Wonder
make
if I
some
should try and
pendants for the
keep
gallery,
hitting it
so you'll be able to
outside.
see what the type of work he does.
Maybe just
Feed
let it
number
drip. The color's going to
snail
drip down.
is
Yeah, you
halfway
could hit the
gone,
sides.
just so you guys know.
Huh?
Just talking about the table. Number 7 and number 8 are halfway gone.
Beautiful. All right.
Coming in.
Chris has the hot paddle.
Slithery.
paddles.
So slithery. Jesus, Murphy.
Maybe one day we'll do pancakes. And we'll have the giant flipper.
Donna says, I absolutely love how you guys high five after each piece. It shows how great your teamwork is.
Absolutely. It's because that definitely takes a multitude of facets of angles and team.
Also, that bowl went live and immediately sold, so it was up
Immediately?
and down. Yes.
Up and down, folks. You must know how to get to the Glass Academy website. That's a beauty. It's going to be even more beautiful when it's out of the annealer, I promise you that.
Yeah.
So that snake just got parked in the garage.
Yep, did.
And that's at 1,000 degrees. It's going to sit and it's going to wait and it's going to stay cozy while we make...
Well, we need to make a gnome still, and we need to make a arborvitae. So I'm going to make the arborvitae first.
Okay. As you gather that up, Mom, can I show these people something awesome over here? Matt and Oliver and I have been really putting in some work on the gnomes during this holiday production time. And these are obviously our Santa gnomes that you see here. But we wanted to show you how many of you guys were around for the original gnome.
Look at his
Yeah.
big nose.
This is one of the first 20 gnomes we made when we had a huge gnome party here at the studio, probably about 2 years ago.
Yeah, 21, 22. I don't know.
It was a little bit ago. So these started solid. They started with recycled glass, the hats, no band, no nothing. We had eyes on them. Look at the cute little schnoz. Look at the beard. This is what really made me want to do this comparison. Look at how we've gotten the beard figured out just this week. 2 years ago now. And all those of you guys that have gnomes out there are part of that progression and seeing the way it comes along and the history of it. And that's super cool. That's what we're leading into with our sheep here.
Okay, wait a second. Hold the sheep conversation. How
Okay.
many people have one of those gnomes, one of the early gnomes?
The OG gnomers.
Yeah, the old gangsta gnomes. Put it in the chat. I know some of you have been around for quite some time, and you were here when we were doing the gnomes. In 2024, we're going over our game plan, and we're actually going to start shows like that again. If you remember, and if you were so lucky to attend, we had pre-orders. You would pick the colored gnome that you wanted, and we would pre-order. So let's say, for example, you picked red. For every one red that was picked, we'd make 2. Then we put them in a scene, and then we had a special opening day where you were able to pick out the exact gnome you wanted. So it was kind of 2 for 1. We made a bunch of extra gnomes. We're going to be doing that with the sheep when Jake talks about his sheep next.
We've got some really cool ideas for the creatures coming up in the new year and many things. I think you guys are going to love what we're planning on doing here, and it's going to be incredible. Stay tuned for the sheep. They're not available yet. They're not going to be available for a minute here. There's still plenty of work to be done on them, but that's part of the process, and hope that you guys stick with us along. When was the last time you made a glass bush, Dad?
I never made one.
Never?
I never made a glass bush before, folks. All right, my friend.
Yeah.
So I'm making it for the first time.
They have OG gnomes.
OG gnomes in the house. Yes. Those must have all been
A
solid.
mix of all 3 of those. That one?
Yes,
Yeah, I'll
Pammy,
show you when
I
you come
know
over.
those. We made only like 8 of those. That's super cool. So this is, again, folks, this is an addition to this gnome snake combo.
Coat
Matt
the whole
just
thing
took
with the left
a
first.
certified honker of a gather. Look at him going into the deep, beautiful emerald
Nice, give it a
green, and
quick
he's
flash.
just finagling this large gather. Chris has got his piece really stiff and powerful because that base that he
You
just
did
made
miscellaneous dabs on these 2 now. That
Is
one and
the
that one. Yeah,
stump.
miscellaneous.
He's asking for miscellaneous dabs. Now that's like if you guys were ever painting and you had a painting instructor
Looks good,
and they
Matt.
said, you're doing a tree, just go for it. All you got to do is put some miscellaneous dabs on there. That's what just happened. But first ever stump, it's large, it's going to be solid, and these guys are going to be hanging out around it. Chris has got the stump there. It looks like he's going to build this...
Smaller by the pipe. Lower your right hand. There you go.
build this stump off of the stump. I mean, build this...
Kind of putting it on like
Foliage.
a Santa hat a little.
off the stump.
I think it's going to be good like that.
So this is going to be an over-the-top application. Michelle's
That's
ready
good.
for the action shot. Double camera right into each other. Look at that. The super snipper. Look at the way those tips cool down instantly as he touched them with the shears. Pretty cool move, and I was just focused there for a minute seeing how it's going to go down. That piece is going to have to solidify. We'll get that in the garage as well as we make the gnome. Look,
Pretty glass.
it's pretty glassy. He's going in for cut number many.
Say about 76.
76.
77, 78,
And a third.
79.
And that's got multiple greens. Dark transparent green with some specks of a lighter, fluffier. It's like new foliage green.
I'm trying to keep it looking like an arborvitae, you know, not like a pine tree of some kind. I mean, even though that's in the cypress family.
Remember last year my Christmas present was the snippers for the boxwood? I got these awesome Japanese trimming shears from this guy who has an Instagram feed where he trims boxwoods into all those crazy shapes.
Super cool shears.
The
We just spent some time with our
tool
shears.
for the right job.
Oh, the finishing snips. That's the type of detail we're talking about right there. Dana, this is going to be unique. That's kind of what happens when you say artist choice. You know, she really left this one open to us. Colors are completely up to us. Style, shape. She just trusts that we can just whip it up for her, and usually that leaves a little bit of room. We ask for like 30% of a custom order to leave a little bit of integrity for the artist to kind of finagle it the way they're going to finagle it. But sometimes when you give it like 90% artistic finaglage,
Gets a
things
little
get a little
crazy.
bit out of control.
Well, this is looking pretty good, so I got to let this cool off so it doesn't move too much, and it just sits in the garage, parked in there, patient, waiting for our chunk of land to come around. So
Beautiful.
now it's Gnome Town, right?
It's Gnome Town.
All right, well, I think I'm going to hand this off to Matt and have him equalize that with a couple heats, and you can put that right into the garage on the left side and keep an eye on it so it doesn't slip down crooked.
I know Robin suggested for Pammy to put a picture of her female gnome in the glass attic space. So we can
Yes.
actually close it off. Try to pull that up now and see if we're
That's a really cool shrubbery. Has anybody seen, you know?
A shrubbery!
I need a shrubbery!
The Knights of Knee!
That's
Monty
a
Python's
classic.
Holy Grail.
That
Or
is a
that,
classic.
was that the one, the Holy
That's
Grail?
the
Yeah.
one. You've never seen that? Matt's the kind of guy that any kind of song in the shop that's ever been played, he'll pull out the movie that it came from and throw it out into the open air.
That's just how I roll. I remember all the songs from all the movies that I've ever watched.
He's probably never, he doesn't know Monty Python because there is no music in it. It's just coconuts clapping.
All right, so we're on to Gnomeville, guys. We're making a gnome. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to give you guys a first-hand view of what it's like sitting at the glass blowing bench. I'm right here.
Oh my gosh, you guys can feel like that if you come take a class here at the Glass Academy.
Like if I was going to be working on something, I'd be working the tools right here.
Look
like
at that.
This. I was in the background. See, look. Jake blowing glass. Tweezers. We got it going on. I'm warming up the seat for him.
I got 2 coats of blue on here. This is going to be a classic blue gnome with multi-shades, but it's going to have a gold-brown belt.
Nice. Michelle, is this your Burger King over here, Michelle? I'm teasing you. It's not Michelle's Burger King, guys.
Yeah, probably, actually.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're going to puff out the body. This is literally breathing life into this creature. It happens fast, but that's just a little puff of air. And when you trap air in a gnome's body, he slowly puffs out and expands, and that's how we get our first bubble in here.
I think gnomes are like a species of their own.
They are. Blee.
John Milberg says, what's up, everyone?
What up, John?
Good. John, what it do? Real light. That's cute. Dad, will you give them a bird's eye as you cap the pipe? Or a glass blower's eye as you cap the pipe if you go for the old belt?
Yeah. You need me to cap it while I'm, well, you tell me when to cap it, and everybody will see the full capping experience.
Wow. Now, we've got a second as I'm heating it up, folks. Those of you that have seen the show before, or anyone that would like to take an educated guess, can anyone guess, when I go to squish this gnome's bottom, what the cappage is? It's not what Bess put on her sweet rolls that she made for Thanksgiving. What are the name of those again? Galumpkies. Those are cabbage. We're talking about cappage.
So there is a difference between cappage
That's
and
it.
cabbage.
Cappage.
You're talking about
P,
money.
as in cap.
Yeah, cappage.
Cappage.
Yeah.
Cappage. Say that 10 times, and then all of a sudden you're speaking another language.
I'm going to get over here in the
Cappage
cappage
position.
area. I'm going to have to sit down on the little mini cappage
cute.
stool.
Cappage ignite. Engage. It was a little late.
Air, you need air?
Yeah, just a little bit. That'll do. And now we will apply the belt.
All right. He
The
wanted them to
belteroner.
see the cappage from here.
Camera denial. Next we will do a beard. So you see how that's starting to form like this. Yes, and just remember that new style. You remember seeing how Oliver was bringing them.
Double beard?
I have a question. How many people watch the experimental show on Sunday mornings? Do you know we're up to show 100?
Ooh!
This is 100 shows where we've tried different ideas, experimented with things, tried to figure things out, and we take you along the journey. It's a really cool process.
That'll be the first one if you want to bring the second one. About that size, if not a little smaller, is fine.
Party at the glory hole.
Yeah, but extra white won't hurt.
For what?
Some other stuff going on.
Got it.
The gnome combo.
It's
Yeah,
kind
they-
of like fast food. What do they call those? Like the
combo meal. I don't know. The value meal. There you go. We got
It's the
specialist over
value
here.
gnome.
All right. Look at how hot It's got to be, the beard has to be drippy and molten, and Matt brought it over perfect size for round one. I'm going to get to the hole real fast.
Would you say that
This one's going to be a little smaller than that one.
I'll push some of it up on the pipe.
Cool.
Would you say, Jake, that the double beard modification started happening kind of during when the hipster beard popularity kicked in?
Yeah, I had a lot of friends that had these like humongous beards, and found ourselves here at the Glass Academy hanging around a lot of people chopping wood.
The hipsters. All right, Bess has this
Two
in
coats enough?
hot from.
Pammy,
Yeah.
thank you, Pammy, for posting these. So we've got her lady gnome with her braids. She said she's an Aussie now.
She is
I
an
take a quick one?
Aussie.
And then she has another
Here.
one of the original gnomes as well.
She does.
So thank you, Pammy, for posting those. If you guys aren't already a part of the Glass Academy Addicts page, go ahead and do that. It's where you can see all
Punny
kinds
first.
of fun pictures. Like
Super good. That's kind of what's fun because we're really focused on what we're saying. I know some people comment like, I don't like that music. We're getting better though. You got to start somewhere.
Hi, Matthew.
The music is also a nice reflection of the beat of the show.
They
Like
only get better every time, folks. That's not true.
Fluffy beard.
That's the key, and it's actually stemmed from Chris showing me how to make the stems to the trees a little more, powerful. Gnarled.
That's the word.
Yep, Matt got it.
had it. He came through.
And so then a couple days later, we're making these gnomes, and I'm just like, man. And then that was that.
So does the beard size affect size of the schnapps?
Oh, for certainly, as Matt says.
I mean, I know that that's really the proper name for
They can't
this
see it.
particular species is the schnaz.
Of course. You could go for the schnoz.
What color you want it?
It's going to be 3 coats of that flamingo.
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 Robin says nostrils or no nostrils?
Ooh.
I'm making this one this time.
Is that going to be enough?
Plenty. Perfect.
I mean, because this gnome's got flamingo nose, does that mean that he's like a little bit on the edge and maybe has a little underlying party feeling behind him?
Hearty feeling.
What does
Yeah.
that mean? Like he's got a red nose, like he has a cold?
Well, everybody's always
Dutchy.
like getting excited and kind of wild and on the edge when they're talking about
the
flamingos. It's a
Do it with
vacation
recycle.
Why does he
thing.
have a flamingo nose?
I have no idea. The color is called flamingo. That's. I always want to rename the glass colors because they're just weird.
It's the same color as the flamingo, so.
But it's not. Flamingos are like pink.
But that's
That color's like
you'll see.
Yeah.
Remember, we've got a metallic
fleshy.
belt here, folks. So right now it looks dark. It almost looks like a black belt, which we do on the Santa gnomes.
Doo-doo. Where's their doo-doo?
I said it.
It's a clean show, you guys.
But this is going to be metallicized towards the end of the process here. And here comes the big, large, and in charge pink schnauzer.
Ouch.
Ooh. Cut
Diamond
it long, cut it
shears.
tall.
Have this cool little diamond shape in them, so when they squeeze shut, look at that
Beautiful.
tiny little point you get. Pinches the color together so you can't tell there's no gap in the color. Aw, you're massaging it.
There, little schnauzer. That's a good looking nose.
It is. The beard's looking good too.
Pammy says it's a schnoz, or in Aussie slang, it's a snot box.
A what?
Snot box.
That is
Nice.
pretty good. This is something we've been putting a lot of time and thought into as well. Matt's really prepping up the perfect hat here. And the timing and the shape and the heat of this all is super important to the stature of this gnome.
Very nice.
That's a perfect sitter downer. And then this other move is pretty new too. It's called the old Gnome and Marver. The Gnomifier. And this just really cylinderizes it right like how you want it. Like so. Yes, we'll do a lapis band.
And what color is his hat?
I think we're gonna skip the ball.
I don't know.
What'd you say? What color?
What color's the hat?
The color is this secondary blue. It's a two-tone blue and metallic. Let's go gold brown, actually. We got our two blues, and we're gonna have a gold brown band to really just give this guy the character he needs. Got a little bit of a gangster lean on the hat there.
Yeah.
I love a good crooked hat, though.
There's nothing
some
nice about a
character.
hat that's straight on.
Yeah, it gives them character. When they're straight, they kind of look like an old school dunce cap.
Old school what?
Dunce cap. You know what those
Oh,
are?
yeah.
Or are you too young for that?
No, I mean,
Yeah.
the dunce hat, the super tall black. You had to sit in the corner and wear this big old hat that said you were stupid.
Who did?
That was a thing in public school back.
Nobody I knew ever wore that.
The reality is those were probably the smartest kids, the one that you couldn't conform.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys have to wear a dunce hat? Bess was homeschooled, so was Jake, so there's none of that happening for them.
Damn. Look at that. Now look how cool and transparent that looks, but that's actually the same color as this bottom band right here.
Have him look at me. There you go.
Look at him. Man, they're getting cool.
He's looking good.
He's a handsome fella. Yeah, should we stamp it on the gnome or on the base? We're going to have a lot going on the base. Maybe we should just stamp the gnome. I think that's a good idea. I'm going to do one more heat after this and give his hat a little bend because as we were just talking about that Schnauzengnomer hat or whatever they were called, you got to be careful with. Careful now.
Little GA stamp on the back. That way the whole sculpture itself will be marked with the GA stamp because all three of these items, the arborvitae, the gnome, and the snake, are all going to be connected permanently on a piece of earth glass.
Earth.
Oh yeah, last week's question we had some good answers. Someone wanted a pond to put all her like stuff so they look like they were skating on an ice pond. I'm like, that's a great idea. We will talk about the contest winner very soon in the show.
Forgotten already, our giveaway question for the week is what brings you the most joy during the holidays? So that's our question. We don't know what the giveaway item is yet. It's going to be made after this piece, probably, looking at timing because it's already 7:20. Jake just panicked, looked at his watch. But that being said, you're going to send your answer to that question to enews@glassacademy.com, and we'll find out soon what you could win.
It's Beardy. He's got to be. And just my favorite part, and something we've been working on a lot too, is getting that hat brim to really come over the schnoz. Just hold it down.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
All right, so let's just all take a deep breath here and think about what the plan is.
All right, well, that's equalizing.
This is equalizing.
I got a gathering wall up
This
for
guy
gather, which we're going to put, what, a little tobacco and a little bit of green in it, so it's like ground. So Matt, maybe you could pull out the tobacco.
And this guy's big and heavy and short. He's not going to lean anywhere, and either is the snake. So I kind of feel like maybe we get this on there on the front left, put the snake on the right looking at him, and then you come in finally with the arbor and stick it in there until right when it solidifies.
Okay.
Does that sound about right?
Yep.
And that means if Matt's got this guy,
I
You're
think
casting it.
I'm going to cast it up, and then the first thing you're going to do is put that on, and then you're going to go over, put that on immediately. Matt will keep that on center, so it doesn't slump too much, and it's going to be really hot. You go over and get the snake, hold it up a little bit, and I'll be doing that with the tree. Flash the snake and come over and use the grabbers and put the snake on, and then I'll come over right after you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm going to knock this on first, right after the casting.
Yep.
You're keeping him straight and on there. Preheat the tweezers on the patty. Preheating some tweezers so we can get the snake on with tweezers.
Yeah, you can have him. Can you put the snake on with these, the grabbers, the snake grabbers?
Probably.
So you could have these with the matte gas torch hot, and you could be keeping the gnome straight on his head with these hot, and then when Jake comes over with the snake and flash it, you just hand him these, and they'll already be hot.
You're doing the snake before the
And then we're going to need a reduction
shrub.
on this
Yep.
and the tree, however that works timing-wise.
We're not stamping the patty because we got the signature stamp on the.
Should we do it here so
Yep.
maybe we can get a better angle from over here?
Yeah, that's
Because
what
that's
we'll
going to
do.
be...
Nah.
We could maybe preheat it a little bit with the big patty.
Yeah, because then it will stay hotter longer.
With a little fluffer. Maybe roll the fluffer over here just in case.
We don't need it to stay hotter longer. It's going
So
to be
you've got to
plenty
get
hot.
3 pieces on the base.
We
right?
never
You're
this
gonna
is a
do
preheated
the
challenge.
the
on the
others.
base.
snake, and then the gnome.
And that's our
And-
flat marver. We don't want to be preheating our flat marver.
In the garage over there, the thing is, are they hot enough?
Well, then whatever. Should we roll
Little
over that
back up.
marver? I mean, we don't want any cracks on the bottom. We're putting on
It's like-
3 pieces onto it.
Bringing in the oxygen.
So maybe we roll that marver
Our
over.
timing's hot. I mean, I can do a pre-gather on there.
it's
Pre-gather
not
works.
going to hurt to
And
do
you
a
can have
pre-gather.
this over here just in case if we need it. Light it and set it over there. But we're not going to torch the steel plate with that. That's for torching the
Yeah.
unit itself, the piece.
Yep, that's fair. It does also totally stain the marver until the next time we cleaned it, so I wasn't excited about that either. But what he said was he's going to do a pre-gather, so we'll drop some hot glass on here and preheat it a little bit. Might be able to pick that extra glass right up and reuse it. We'll see kind of what he's thinking. But the one
Matt,
thing
you're going to want a big paddle to move the piece of glass when I come over.
I'm very grateful of is Matt brought
After it
over a
sits
really
there for-
nice punny here. You see that thickness? Right at the bottom at the tip. It's holding the heat super well. It's proportionate to the gnome. And you've seen many
put
a
it in
gnome
the-
drop
the-
off the
the,
pipe here. And this one
regular
hasn't
bucket.
yet because it's a beautiful punny.
Oh, yeah, that's how you preheat something. Something.
That's probably about the size right there, right?
No, bigger than that.
Bigger?
A little wider.
Yeah, wider.
William says, will heating the marver make it warp?
Yes, you can warp the marver. That's why I didn't want to heat it too much, because this is our flat marver. We've got special marvers that are just used for castings on. But this one will heat it just enough on the surface.
This marver is an inch thick, though. You'd have to do a lot of casting on it to warp it up.
Yeah.
That's not going to do anything.
I'm the guy in charge of the shop, and I got 2 marvers over there that are arched like a ½ an inch and messed up. So
And who did it?
me, from casting on it over 10 years, but that's why I know how it works.
All right, I'm glad we got that figured out, everybody. Now we're going to work as a team to put these 3 pieces together on this patty.
Is this the patty we're using, or is this just like?
No,
That
this
is the
okay.
pre-patty.
That is a pre-patty, so you're going to see where we're going. You can, like, Matt, take a pair of shears and hit that, would you? Like, already that surface is cold. It's real, like, there it's ice cold, even though it's still nice and hot and glowing.
That's one of those cool temperatures if you guys have seen sticky lollies or like candy pulling where you can break it, it would break in half, but it would like taffy, it would break and then still bend at the same time. That's that temperature.
Are you
right
ready,
there.
Jake?
I'm real ready. Real ready.
You can move it if you want.
Everybody's really loving his beard, and I will agree. His beard is really nice and
Top notch.
fluffy, and
There you go, folks. It takes 2 years.
It does. I mean, that's the reality.
That's a big gather, folks. This is
So,
it. Let's
dipping in
focus.
some color, it instantly heats. And then he's going to reheat it just a touch. Kind of let it fold on itself. You
So
can't
once
see from
that
this angle.
casts, I'll take one flash, we'll wait around for a sec, and then we'll do the reduction.
There you can see the swirls. Very cool. This is a gathering ball. Larger surface area allows you to gather more glass.
yeah, the swirls already look cool.
Going
Isn't
for the
that
reduction
wild?
here on the belt.
If you watch some of
Dad,
our
I'm going to leave the
experimental
reduction
shows,
on for you.
Yeah.
you might have seen castings
I don't
that
have
look
reduction.
Like this. All right, everyone's doing their dance. Send positive vibes.
Thank
Think
you,
good
sir.
things. Number 1, Gnome.
Right by the
Homie,
schnoz.
Gnome.
Punny is good, man.
Oh yeah, a little water. Teamwork. Here we go. We got the gnome.
Ooh, it's Sizzler. All right, you got him.
Here you go.
Okay.
Over there.
Has he heated the
Snake in
tools
the
up?
bush.
Yep, tools are hot.
Hustle
You're coming
up.
in with your flashing
I'm
at
just going
once?
to give this to you.
Okay.
That patty's cooling awfully fast. Get
And
the
then if
fluff
you
on
take-
it.
Take this, Jake. I got to go heat mine up. You got it? Hold it
Yep,
by the
I
end.
got it. Will you grab
Yeah.
the torch by the bench and torch the middle? Right where the tree's going to go? Yeah, the hot torch. Right in that middle spot where he's going to blast the tree into there. All right, you're good when you're ready, Dad.
They got to hustle. That patty is
Michelle's
cooling
adding
off.
to the stress here.
Yes. It's good.
The drama.
You should be stressed. It's heavy duty.
Jake, get the paddles.
Got him.
Look at that. Right on the little hot nugget.
Beautiful. Yeah, baby.
Ooh.
Let's
And
see the
away
tree.
it goes.
Walk with me.
Yeah.
It's looking pretty
Quickly,
good,
quickly,
though.
It's
quickly.
looking good. Just
Maybe
move-
pull it forward a little.
Quickly.
Quickly.
Quickly. Quickly.
Nice.
They're running.
Going right up top.
There's all kinds of plants in the studio in the way.
Nice. Tight. Very tight.
Yeah.
That was serious, and that was, Michelle was really giving it to us there, but it was the very last moment
Wow, you need
that
to.
we had to get going. But nothing gets you going like, you know, that internal clock becoming external.
All right, you want a few minutes to regroup and Bess will do some housekeeping?
Absolutely. We'll drink some water.
Yeah, so it's 7:32. Perfect amount of time for me to do some housekeeping. We'll do a giveaway item before the end of the show. So as I mentioned, last week's question was... Give me 1 second. What are some of your favorite moments during the holidays? Is that the right question? No.
No.
Give me 1 second. Let me flip through all of my paperwork.
It might be on the top of her answer sheet. So Donna preps these questions during the day, and she prints out the answers. I think it was what would you make out of ice and
Yeah, so here it
glass?
goes. If you were an artist here at the Glass Academy, how would you incorporate elements of both ice and glass into a single piece of artwork? Remember, Chris said it was our long question. So got a lot of answers here. I'll read you off some. Some people said they would want to create a penguin sitting on a chunk of ice. Maybe a couple of light blue ice cubes instead of clear. Ice cubes inside a snowman. That's an interesting one. Snowflakes with colorful rainbows. A tasty goblet with a glacier stem with a snowy base. All kinds of really cool ideas that came in. And our winner, we don't obviously choose the winner because of the answer that they give us to the question, where we put all of the names on a wheel and we spin it. But they also had a cool idea.
It's random.
It is random. Their answer was a glass waterfall.
We've done this. We've
Have
done this.
we?
I actually did it on one of the very first experimental shows, and it hung on the edge of the shelf. We had it over there, and it dripped down. It had 4 different blues.
Very cool.
Pretty sweet.
So you guys will have to go find that on the YouTube channel then.
Yeah.
But Jake, if you want to grab our item.
Oh. And have
So-
we been pulling cane from here?
Staying with the theme of the show,
This is our piece that our lovely winner has won, a giant huckleberry candy cane
Look at
from our
that.
signature candy cane this year.
very nice, very
Deep,
nice.
beautiful blue.
So congratulations to Andrea Wilsack.
All right, Andrea.
So Andrea, you're going to get an email from Donna probably tomorrow or the next day. If you are local, you are more than welcome to come in and pick that up. Or if you would like to pay for the $15 shipping, then you can have that item shipped to you. So keep an eye out for that email from Donna.
Happens on Thursday.
Absolutely. Any other housekeeping items that you're aware of that we need to go over?
Tonight's question,
Yeah, tonight's question one more time. I will put it up on the screen as well, but it says, what brings you the most joy during the holiday season? Jake, what brings you joy during the holiday season?
Everything.
I was going to say, it doesn't say eating cookies.
For me,
I love it
I'm
all.
a foodie. I love cooking all the things. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
going to Friendsgivings and potlucks, and I bake about 300 cookies, and my kitchen ends up covered in cookies.
Oh, Bess, bring some here.
So food definitely is a good one for me.
Yeah. That's a huge one for me. Obviously, just getting together with family, super cool. Hanging out, changing up the products that we make is super awesome. Throughout this demo, I got a couple more comments about the table over here and up-and-coming products, but we're going to get started on the demo. I think Chris has some things he might want to say about this piece. This is not going to be the giveaway, you guys. We had a plan before the show. We're running a little behind schedule, but we want to get the pieces that we are planning on making out into the show here. So, depending on what the product gets decided on throughout the week, we are going to be picking a giveaway for next week. It could be a signature ornament in this Michigan Waters theme. It could be something else, folks. So stay tuned. We don't do you guys wrong. Trust that you'll get something amazing. We've given away an amazing piece for 245 shows now. But Chris is going to make an
if he's
alternate style of bowl. Sure, that was one of the things I wanted to update. A lot of people are super excited about the sheep and looking to purchase one. We're working on a new seasonal creature creation process, folks, and this is going to come out in the new year. There's still much improvement to go on them, as you've seen in the gnomes. And
like
as much as
that.
people want the little belly button GA stamp, as much as people will want these guys, they will be made available later, and you can pick and choose which ones you like. But we want to get a nice inventory. We want to get them really established. We want to know the process and do it in an intentional and positive way. So if you're looking for a sheep, expect it to come in the new year and expect them to be even cooler and crazier and furrier than you see right here.
We have to build the display. We need to build the rocky mountain that they're going to be climbing, the grassy knoll.
And we do want to start a trend here, and we won't get too much into the details
Wait
with
a
our
second.
creature creations, but it's
Wait.
going to be super cool.
Isn't
Oh,
this like a
yeah. That's amazing. The other thing I wanted to say is that you won't find candy canes like this elsewhere, folks. We're really proud of these, and these are super cool. They're super fun and challenging to make, both to get the bend true and correct, but also to have the colors melt in smooth together, to pull them the true length that they are, which is literally this long when they're unbent, and then to have them hot and floppy in the hole and bend them down at this size. They're very difficult, but we appreciate that challenge, and this is the first time we've ever had them for sale on the show. They're only going to be made here on this show, then we're going to make them live in the gallery, and that's going to be it for the holiday season. We got some other holiday bonuses coming up next week, but again, you guys know the deal with holiday shopping. Shop local, shop small,
Back over to
shop
you, boss.
family, and here we go.
Well, shop local
What's
and
the
shop
idea?
small is kind of, you know, you could be watching us in Arizona.
Well, shop in the USA
There you go.
and shop small. And here we are. That's us, folks. Yeah. So what's going on, Chris?
I'm using the signature color, this year's signature color for the base of this bowl.
The Michigan Waters Mix.
Yeah, the Michigan Waters mix. I'm going to make the bowl look very
Okay.
watery. I want it to be very organic and very watery with a lot of color going on in it.
Really watery.
Yeah, pretty loose. You know, I want it to be thick. You know, I want it to be thick, not thin and fragile.
Yeah, same here. He's going in for a third coat. He's really dousing it up good. And these are large chunks of color, so that's going to be a dense, beautiful, I might go so far as to say watery looking bowl.
Now my mic's on.
Oh boy.
I'm really going for the watery look, guys, and a very organic, super thick. Want it to be very, what would you say? Very just luscious. Kind of like it just like splashed up onto your kitchen table or your dining room table.
I interrupt 1 second. enews@glassacademy.com. Bess will put that on the screen. What is where you
Yep.
send your answer?
It was just up on the screen. I will bring it back in a little bit. It's hard for whoever's on the camera because they can't necessarily see what's on the screen, so I didn't want to block any of the action going on, so I will bring that back in a second here.
Does it come up on the bottom or the top?
It's a lower third, so it's a streak across the bottom.
You go ahead and hit it, and I'll make sure that we've got room.
Perfect. Yeah, if you can keep him like centered or above, then you're good. Like right there is perfect. That's a little too high now. There you go. Perfect.
I'm learning. I wanted to mention, Michelle touched on it a little bit earlier, the experimental show and how all the great things that have happened from that. We're on show 100, and we're going to be making a little bit of transfer, a little bit of new additional content action in the new year. We've got some really cool plans for what's coming up in January. So you guys stay tuned for that after our holiday break. It's going to be a really cool situation for all of you and our content, and we're really going to keep the intentionality behind what we're doing and plan it out even more. So just giving you guys the heads up. That was 100 shows of experimental action, and we've got something really excited planned for you. And this is the gathering point every Tuesday night, 6 to 8. The theme switch, the product switch. The team switches.
Do I remember back in the early teen shows of the experimental show, you guys talked about or maybe even wore like scientist jackets?
I do remember that. There was one show, I believe Michelle and I both wore scientist.
Yeah.
What are they called?
What was that guy called?
Lab coats. Thank you.
Bill
I was going to
Nye.
say cloaks.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
My buddy actually just saw Bill Nye the other day.
Really?
He went to a party in it was California after someone's wedding, a good friend of his, and met the guy that made South Park, I guess, and then went and saw Bill Nye, and I was like, man,
Very cool.
he didn't even talk to him, and I was like, if I would have walked behind Bill Nye, I would have started mumbling that theme song.
That was one of my favorite shows growing up.
That was such a classic.
Oh,
Here comes the
someone
air.
was thinking.
The bubbly.
The expansion. And it does seem like Chris is queuing it up for the encasement.
Yeah.
Oh yes, folks. Anybody new out there watching the show tonight? There's our color selection.
Mary Lou says she will be patiently waiting for the shape.
Thank you, Mary Lou. We appreciate your patience. We love giving you guys finalized and powerful, full product. We want to be proud of what we do. And like I said, I think we got a pretty cool idea for creature creations coming up here in the new year.
So my thoughts are thinking, and I've never made one like this, but I think I'm going to use the Taglia to carve up some of the crystal so I get some undulation in different thicknesses throughout the bowl.
Yeah.
And then I'll have you bring me over those bits of the recycled glass to mix into that so I get a little bit of that watery blue on the outside. Well, this is still kind of hot. So how big? Probably like the size of that bit that you brought me. Yes. That was a nice size. Pretty creamy too.
It's creamy.
Yeah.
It's nice and silky.
Yep. All right, let's do it.
This is it. I'm going to get a bird's eye angle. You're going for the recycle here?
Nope. I'm gonna go
Just
for cool the
pre-cooling.
pipe off before and after because I know I'm going to be spending some time in there.
Will you monitor the door, Matt, for him on the left side? Yep. Open it, kind of close it as he's gathering so he doesn't get too hot. And I'll get this beautiful, let's see.
As a reminder to you guys, the table is still live. I did put the link to that in the comments once again.
That's tough,
We're about
folks. It's
halfway
tough, but it's
through
nice.
7
So we
and
got to
8
make this real
sales.
quick. I want to get that. Matt, you can go ahead and gather up that recycle already, and we're going to cover it up over here.
You want the big boy?
If you can get it out of there.
Here.
I got it. Thank you. That is some cool glass carving. You need someone to turn the pipe, though, or are you doing good?
I'm doing all right.
So he literally did just carve into the crystal. And that was when, as soon as he said that, I was like, man, the verbiage there is just a beautiful thing. I love noticing the way something like that sounds in the hot shop, to carve into the crystal. That's just a beautiful saying. And this is already a huge, huge, massive glass. He's starting the neckline on it now. We're going to need a symmetry monitor on this one, as you just saw him literally smacking the glass around as asymmetrical as he possibly could. Let's see if it somehow blows out symmetrical. And we're going to have Matt bring it in. It looks like that's some recycled glass he got there. All right.
Jake, we had somebody ask about the Gnome. He was a custom order, but Jake, what's the best way for them to place a custom order?
That's a great question. That Gnome combo was a custom order.
Yeah.
Dana's second custom order, and she really only goes for the big honkers. She loves those trophy pieces. She's been watching the show for a long time. But just like every other product we have, you can go to the Glass Academy website, check out everything that's a continual product line of ours that we make on a regular basis and we'll make to order, or you go to the custom order page. Then there's a minimum custom order price because everything's a little bit, takes some extra thought, extra time, extra color to switch up the plan of the day and make something custom. We love doing them on the show here as well, showing you guys the new products and what's going on and
I think we're doing
the
all right.
difference in what we're making. But as I said earlier too, when you do a custom order, you gotta understand
Maybe
that we'll
another
have
one.
about 30% artistic
Yeah, one more.
liberty in that order. We don't really necessarily, and I'll take the order and I'll listen to you guys if you say you want a perfect pint glass, you know, with a perfect blue spiral down the side of it. I'll let you know that it is handmade and there's not much room for artistic liberty in that kind of order. And we may, depending on how it's blowing out, want to add a lip wrap of a certain color, add clear to the top because maybe it's going to look a little more watery. But we're
Steady.
not robots, and that's something that we take pride in, is making everything one of a kind and sloppy and crazy. But also we make some pretty tight work too.
Matt, I need one more.
Still good on the turning?
Yeah.
Look at the color difference as that recycle glass is cooling down. It's going to look really cool to recycle on top of the clear like that. And this recycle right now is a beautiful light blue. I know those guys were talking about it at the beginning of the show.
Not
and
so
I'll
big.
come back to this representation of all our different recycle blues. If I had to choose one, I'd say it's probably looking like this guy. That's hot. You know that's hot on Chris's hand as he goes for that cut mark there. It's such a quick move, though. There's not really any time to be shielding him in that moment. The only thing you can do in preparation for a piece like this is wear a glove. And unless you really know the plan and know what you're doing, you've produced them before and know that you can work the piece with the glove, it's not the easiest thing to do. For example, on our website, we've got our nest bowls. And we've got 3 different sizes of those, small, large, and jumbo. And those jumbo nest bowls are huge. If I remember correctly, they're about 10 to 11 inches wide in the top of them. And when you're putting on sloppy gathers like this and laying on hot molten action, that is certainly an opportunity or a situation that you'd be using a glove in.
Pammy says individuality is what makes things collectible. Mass-produced things don't have that unique quality, which is so true.
Straight up, Pammy. That's what we're all about.
A giant club.
It is. It kind of looks like a turkey
Club,
leg.
like a turkey leg.
Robin says that must be getting heavy. About how heavy is this right now?
It's pretty heavy. I don't
Who
know
was it that
how
was
heavy
talking
exactly.
about- one of our customers was talking about the weight of this bubble tree over here. When we did this on the show last week, they got to pick it up
8
and
pounds,
feel it.
7 ounces.
They saw the way we were
gallon of a
swinging it
milk.
around and
That's
how
8
crazy
pounds.
it was. And yeah, it was truly a big honker, and the weight is definitely distributed differently when you're working on a pipe like that. So it looks like he's focusing up the bottom here with all this action and all this crystal manipulation. What are you thinking about right now, Chris? What's going through your head?
Kind of trying to think about exactly how much I want to blow it out. Hopefully it doesn't get too thin. And then what I'm doing with the bottom.
Crystal
Matt, you want to blow a little? Good?
Still good on the turning.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I just want to make sure that I want to make sure that it doesn't need to be ground too much because I want it to be super watery.
I just took a nice seat right on where that trifecta custom piece was cast onto the Marver and got the quick sizzle.
All right, we're going to do a Maurice and then a punty on a big step-down punty. Probably one of the rusty
wait.
ones, not the shiny
I've
ones.
got something to say.
All right.
We need some testimonials. We're doing something new and we need your testimonials. If you guys want to do a video and hold up your favorite piece, or you can talk about yourself watching the show, you can have someone videotape you watching the show. But we're doing a call out for testimonials. You can send them right to enews@glassacademy.com and we can add them to our new program that we'll tell you more about later. But
Nice
we're
grab,
looking
nice
for
grab.
testimonials. Even if you don't have any of our products and you follow the Addicts page or you enjoy the show, your testimonial can be about anything related to the Glass Academy. Glass Academy.
I'm good. You can heat that up if you like. You can stick it in there.
So we're
Yes.
going to use some written testimonials. Some are going to be video testimonials. We're going to compile them. You guys will be able to share them. Special incentive for everyone who sends us a testimonial.
We're coming up on 250 shows, folks. 5 more shows. Mid-January will be show 250
So we're trying to
Quarter.
put together a special video.
of 1,000.
You might be featured.
I'm going to have you hold this, Matt, and I'll take that. You can flash that. Get the neck if you can. It's deep.
You need that door?
We are less than 100 people from 6,000 followers on our Instagram, so it'd be pretty cool if you could share us with your family and your friends. Have them follow us on Instagram. We're at 5,942. So my Christmas wish is for us to get there before Christmas or hopefully before the end of the year. So if you guys can help us out with that, that would be super awesome. We're working on getting a lot more content up there. You guys constantly see me and Michelle taking videos during the show. We're doing things during the week as well. So if you guys can help us out and get us there, that'd be super, super awesome. So our Instagram is just Glass Academy. Nice and easy for you guys. If you don't follow us already, go ahead and do that. and then share it with your family and friends. We'd super appreciate it.
Does it cost anything to like us, Bess?
It does not, and that's the wonderful thing about doing things to support your friends or your favorite small businesses.
So we offer all this free content, this live show, this education and entertainment every Tuesday night for 2 hours, and it's free?
Totally free.
Okay.
Free. So good.
All right, heat that bunny up.
But you guys just following us, watching us, liking and commenting on our posts does so much to help us out, gets us out there. The more you interact with our posts, the more that these social platforms think that people like us and they want to show us to other people, which is the really cool thing. So the more you guys do that, we super appreciate it. It super helps us out, and you didn't even have to spend a dime. I can tell that people are very intensely watching because the chat got quiet.
It is, isn't it? That's so funny. All right, good thing Matt knew how much the piece weighed because it's all on him now.
All righty, Matt, you ready? Pushing towards me lightly. Take it.
Beautiful.
Bada bing.
Yeah.
Way to go, Matt.
Yeah, you didn't even really have to go all the way in, but you're
Super
all right.
organic, super
Got
cool.
it. Thank you.
Super fun to see these pieces just divulge from traditional glass blowing. This is super organic, super sculptural. This is sculpting. It's glass blowing because it was hollow, but there's a lot of sculpting going on. Pretty serious flip around, and pretty curious to see how this one gets opened up. You think you're going to be doing it from the outside?
I think I'm going to go to get at a certain point, but this is a big reheat right now because it's so thick up there that it's just going to be a real nice, relaxing hang out for a little bit in front of the glory hole.
Well, good thing we get to read your shirt nice and clear right here.
There you go.
Love that. That's the
Good
gathering
thing-
point, folks. I'll come through and show you guys the candy cane one more time and take you right to the edge of the table. Like I said, hand-bent jumbo candy canes on the website, gold and white. We got pink and white. We've got our holiday selection of Christmas snails with large gullets. You can see them right there. Love the clear in there. You can see right through them, the transparency. This one's got green and adventurine. Look at the sparkle.
Yeah, that aventurine is awesome.
Super tight. Look at him from the front. He's just looking up like, God, I'm slimy. These guys, little texture, green and red, classic. You got the purple and gold. Some beautiful, bright, vibrant ones down here, 14 and 15. These are all on the website, glassacademy.com. As we mentioned in the beginning of the show, these brand new bubble trees are going to be made available. We're going to make a line of them this week over the next few days for next week's table.
Like it's
Stay
moving in
tuned
front.
for that.
Yeah, it's moving pretty good.
And that's a selection of
All
gnomes.
right, think we're moving a little bit here, Jake.
All right, we got some motion.
It kind of looks like a volcano from this angle.
It totally looks volcano-ish. Lift your hand up a little bit so the paddle goes a little
There
deeper
you
on his
go.
arm. Nice. What would somebody put in a bowl like this? Water?
You can put a fish in it.
A
Like,
fish
it could
would be
a fish
cool.
bowl.
That's a sweet fish bowl.
I think also like even opening up and filling it full of like just organic pieces of different color blue chunks of glass that are all watery looking.
As just like a centerpiece?
Yeah.
Cold ice, and you put ice in there and stuff.
Ooh. It is thick enough that it would probably keep that ice pretty cool.
So it's interesting because this is such a different way of working. So now I'm gonna just heat it real deep and real slow, and be
Just let
careful how much I spin it out. You're gonna probably want to get the gloves ready. Real slow.
Look at how he's focusing that burner. You can see the flames licking off the left side of it. And look at, you're starting to see some motion in the end. He's turning faster now. There's motion in the ocean. Look at it spreading out. Here he comes.
John said he would put cocoa pebbles in it.
Cocoa?
Cocoa Pebbles, the cereal.
Wow.
Very cool.
There's Mom in the background. No way. No fish living in that guy, and we're definitely not reheating it either. That thing is not fitting back in the hole. Starting to see some of the blues come out with the bench
Wow.
behind it. It's a really cool shape. It's got a little depth to it, so you could, in fact, pour some cereal in there.
That would have a really nice shadow on a table.
Look at that.
I don't think the fish would work in here anymore.
No longer.
No fish.
That's a centerpiece for sure, though, and I'm sure there's many. Now I see what
Grab
he's
it.
talking about.
Well, I guess I'm not putting the GA stamp it. I'll hand sign it.
Yeah,
I think
Yep.
we'll hand sign it.
not worth risking it at this point. But some clear glass globs in there, or anything you can think of that you might want to have as a centerpiece in there. Something bright, vibrant with the beautiful Michigan waters undertone.
We gonna
clear
torch this,
and
you think?
recycle. You could torch the bottom of it if you got enough time, for sure.
Right there, Matt, you got it? Hold it from, the thick parts right there and there. You got it.
Look at that shot, folks. Come
It's a
on.
good camera angle.
Give them a round of thumbs right now. These guys are killing it. Beautiful.
All right.
And now it's a hustle over to the box.
Going in on the
Michelle's
bottom.
right there at the door, ready to go. He slides it in.
Ooh.
Yeah, baby.
Nice work.
Super tight.
Ow! Nice work. That baby was
Nice
hot.
work. Beautiful. That was spicy. That was a big boy.
Wow, that was a good one. Now, that's about as Michigan watery as you can get.
Yeah, that was the ultimate watery special. And what time? Ooh, right
We're
on
right
time.
there.
Whoa.
That's beautiful, folks.
Well, remember, folks, that that wasn't the giveaway. That piece will probably be online here shortly for sale. And we're going to pick something out of the gallery for the giveaway, which is going to be super sweet. Probably
Yep.
be Michigan Room. You mentioned something like that, Jake?
Yep.
I do have the giveaway question on the screen with where to send your answer, but one more time, that question is what brings you the most joy during the holiday? So you're going to send your answers to enews@glassacademy.com, and that is on the screen as well. I know sometimes we talk a little fast and people don't always catch it.
Super
So-
nice having a visual for sure.
There you go.
But if that piece is going online, which it is, how long will it be on there for a while? Like tonight till
I
midnight
believe
with
we
everything
leave it
else?
until next Tuesday. Is that true? Yep.
Absolutely.
Until we
Okay.
set
Sell
up
out.
the show
Yeah.
for the next following week.
Yep, so we can get that up there.
Sounds
So
good.
keep an eye on the website for sure.
So that was the gathering point, folks. Show number 245. Congratulations to Andrea on winning the giveaway from last week. The amazing Super Ben candy cane. We'll be reaching out to you, and I think with a couple thumbs up from the team. We got Michelle over here and Bess to sign it off. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.